Good evening and welcome to the Coach Murray Show. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sportsnet along with Indians head coach Russ Murray. Coach, we had a big game last Friday night in Appleton County in town. 3A Appleton County Pirates. We lost 40-20, but that second half, man, you guys battled back, trailing a little bit, had some good drives in the second half, and had some big turnovers in the first half as well. I thought it was a lot of improvement from the previous week versus Brantley.
Yeah, well, these last 2 weeks we've been kind of outmanned a little bit as far as what we have this year, and I felt like the guys they didn't quit. Number one, that's the biggest thing you want to do, and they just kept fighting, till the end, and just I think here in the next couple of weeks, our off week will be matched against some teams that be somewhat our size, but you're going to see we still are going to be outmanned a little bit. We're small this year for sure.
We played ball with them though. I mean, last year they shut us out, right?
Yeah, they did.
Last year they shut us out. This year we put 20 on them.
Yeah.
Lily had a big second half.
Oh yeah, I
thought in the backfield. I thought he had a fantastic.
I'm hoping
game.
It was kind of like you always have to. I challenge the guys to every team needs a story, and we didn't write a story for us Friday night, but I think he kind of started a story for himself. Maybe I think he's going to be a great player for us, and I think he's kind of, he's feeling it a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been real tentative in the first two games. I mean, he's a freshman. He's thrown into playing on both sides of the ball. And even here at a small school like ours, we hadn't had kids that have to do that, and he stepped right in and he's done the best he could, but he's been real tentative, and he had a little success, actually a lot of success. I mean, I think he rushed for almost 100 yards the other night. I think he had 92 yards. He threw a touchdown pass, and he scored one on the ground himself, and I don't know exactly what he did on defense, but I'm sure he made some plays. I know he had a couple tackles here and there, but yeah, you could tell he's kind of feeling a little bit, and I'm excited about him.
He looked like as the second half was going on, like he was getting more and more confident back there.
Right. Well, yeah, he got a lot of carries. I think he ended up carrying the ball like 16 times, and and he had 92 yards. So, I'm excited for him and excited for us having him. Next 3 years too.
Yeah, and King, your freshman quarterback, your true freshman quarterback, King. He had a good game in the second half as well.
He ended up
targets, nice hearts.
Right, he ended up being 6 for 13. We don't throw a lot, but he ended up being 6 for 13, and he did have one pick. But he's getting better every week. And practice it shows. And I'm excited for these young kids, and I'm excited for all of them. They're just the older kids are fighting hard and trying to the leadership bringing these younger kids along, and it's just a process.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the process a little bit. It's kind of, this program, what we're used to doing, it's a little bit different approach that we have to take now. Mm-hmm. We're staying positive. Our goals are still the same, but, it's just, nothing comes easy for this team. I think I've said that before. We have to work for everything we get. And it's mainly because, we're young, but, and even the positions like another kid that I thought he had a pretty good game. Was Ryan Williams. He made a couple of good questions. He's a senior, but he's never played football before. So, it's like he's a freshman as well. But we have to work for everything we get, and, it's just going to be a process.
Yeah. And like you just said with Ryan, it might say senior beside his name, but, he's basically a freshman as far as football experience goes.
That's right, and there's more, we have one senior on the offensive line, Grayson Carter, and, this is his third year starting. But, the rest of the guys, it's their first year. We've got sophomores and a junior, but the junior is his first year he's played football. So, it's going to be a process, and I hope, and these guys are fighting, and they work hard every day. We had a great film session today and went out there and had a good hour's worth of practice, and they're ready to come to work tomorrow. So we're not, it's an off week, but it's really a get some work in week two.
I think it's going to be fun, too, because they're literally, you can't beat game experience. And these young guys, I like to say they're getting forged by fire.
Yeah.
They're thrown into the pit, and they're building every week.
Yeah.
So, Coach, you ready to hit some highlights real quick?
Sure,
We'll hit some stats as well. Right now we've got the first one. This was on the first opening series. Saquon Clark with a big sack versus Appleton as they were driving down the field. Forced the turnover, and we got the ball, but we gave it right back, but we stopped the initial drive.
Right. Well, on this play, I mean, we had Saquon moved up to actually a linebacker spot where we were doing defense. Coach Whittenberg had him, and we got a good outside rush. Well, that's not the sack. No, that is the sack. That was he got him on a rollout, and he called a dog or whatever. He went in and got the sack. He was a big play.
He came him and that's Milton right there, right? On the end.
Yeah.
Saquon, he came in almost completely clean. Was that
yeah,
a
and
design
well,
blitz
that's
there
what
on that?
happens whenever Caleb goes and shuts down like that. It kind of takes that initial blocker away, and he was able to go off the edge there because you can't block but one guy, and that's what we're counting on for that play.
And here's Caleb Milton with, I believe, if I have the count, I might be wrong on the count, I believe his third fumble recovery already this year.
He may have that many fumble recoveries.
I know the interception, that was technically an interception.
He
For the touchdown that first week, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, he's got one. Yeah, I think they did call it an interception. But he, his play was actually made by number 6, Marcel Maxwell, who, he stripped the ball and claimed through. And I thought Caleb may be able to get through there and score, but that offensive lineman held on to him. Or, no, that's the fullback held on to him. But, that was a big play. It was a big play.
It was. And I thought at first, I know when the officials looked like they were conferring about it, I thought they were talking about maybe the quarterback's arm going forward, but it wasn't going forward when the ball came out.
No, it wasn't. He looked backwards for it, kind of went backwards and then rolled forward. So
I know we replayed that one several times on the air Friday night because I thought that's what they were doing was trying to.
And I missed that because I walked back there to the offensive line. I missed that play.
You missed it.
I missed it. Yeah.
You still got that offensive line blood.
Coach Whittenberg, Coach Zach's back there with most of the offense that, is not forced to play defense. And I was back there listening to what was going on and just missed it. They all started running back. I said, we got the ball back.
Hey, Coach, this is one we were talking about with Ryan just now. About he's basically a freshman. He's a senior, but he's a huge kid, tall, 6'4".
Oh, a great kid. Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about him. No, I don't know if it's his 9 or not on the senior spotlight, but anyway, he's number 9. But anyway, it's his first year playing. He's really hit the weights hard, got a little bit stronger. But I think he's a good basketball player. I think this is a pure basketball play. He uses his basketball skills. I love multi-sport athletes. Look at boom, he goes back and gets it.
That's a great
he had the
play
presence
right
to
there.
go back forward and get it instead of usually the balls bounce behind.
Let's say that one more time because that takes a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
For a veteran receiver to pull that off, and for him to do that like that was an awesome play.
Yeah, and like I said, he plays basketball and he's multi-sport, and he just kind of brings some of those skills over to football. You can see those skills, especially receiver. You got to go up high to get balls and have good hands, and he's got those.
And this next one is a trick play. You almost fooled me up there. I was operating the camera and doing the production. You know how I do, and I almost zoomed in on what I thought was just a run play up the middle, and then you fooled the cameraman too.
We see people running all the time. I don't know if it's that much of a trick play anymore. We just call it a jump pass, sort of. And gosh, we've been running it all preseason, and I don't think he's thrown it under 40 yards. He's overthrown the receiver by 40 yards, but it worked, and he got his first TD pass, and Jalen had a heck of a game. We'll
Let's look
talk
at that
about
one
some
one
more.
more time. I enjoyed that one the other night.
I'm sure it fooled a lot of people. We were lucky enough to fool them, because they're all up and they came up hard. And then I think that was Randy Nelson, wasn't it? Came right back. Yeah, that was Randy, and he was just wide open. Nobody was even close to him.
I know in the past when we've done that package, nobody expects to pass out of that package because you have your two basically offensive linemen in the back.
Yeah,
well,
that's
follow those guys.
That's kind of a new one that we put in this year. We used to have the old Warrior or Jumbo that we used to call it, where we'd have like 9 offensive linemen, but now we just take 2 linemen and put in the backfield, Grayson and Khalil.
And here's another run. This is a touchdown run by Saquon Clark where he bounced it. He was headed to the left side and kind of bounced it out to go in. And here's that big beef package back there.
Yeah, I'd run straight behind him. And he kind of gets away from him. I'd run right behind Khalil because you see Khalil just slamming somebody. I'd grab a hold of Khalil's belt and just, as small as Saquon is, I'd just ride him on in. because if you look at it again, you'll see him end up pancaking somebody in the end zone.
Good block right there by Khalil.
Yeah, yeah,
Drove that young man 3 yards back in the end zone. Did you see that?
yeah.
Which I know you guys, y'all review the plays on Huddle and everything, so I know y'all probably already gone all over that. This one is the PAT. This is the one where he flares out.
Yeah, well, yeah. We actually ran that on both PATs, I believe.
This one where King swings out.
Oh yeah. Well, the one before that, we'd ran that play earlier, and nobody was even close to him, and it's like one of those things. And that's the hardest thing in the world to throw
when they're wide open.
When they're wide open, and he just overthrew him bad, and I think it's mainly because he was standing up, but he's going to be a good one. Jalen King's really going to be a good quarterback for us. I hope anyway. The potential's there, and he works hard. Yeah, I was talking to his daddy today when we were watching him throw, and he throws a bunch of good ones, and then he'll throw, just like a freshman, he'll throw some bad ones, but he's getting better every day.
Here's an interception by our defense.
Kyler Williams, I think, got this one. And he's another talented freshman that plays a lot. I mean, he keeps mentioning these freshmen. We got about 3 or 4 that play a lot, and yeah, he got it. And I know that's probably his first interception in high school. And hope he'll have many more to come with that.
Look at that one more time. How many turnovers at your defense? I mean, we're only 3 games in, and it seems like they're getting 2 or 3 a game so far.
Well, I don't exactly know. Well, let's see. We got 3 fumble recoveries and 3 interceptions, so we got 6 of those so far on the year. So we got 6 turnovers. That's about 2 a game. Well, we got more than that though, because we got 5 against Frederica. So we've got add 2 more fumble recoveries to that. So ends up with 5 and 3. So we got 8 turnovers for the year.
Here's Zariah again with the second highlighted reception. Right,
yeah,
had to wait on it a little bit.
Yeah, and that made him kind of stumble there. He's pretty fast too. He if he'd have hit him in stride, that'd have been another 6 points.
I'll let that run its course. Pull it up one more time. Here we go. Yeah, they hit the brakes just for a split second, but like you say, he's fast, basketball player. Up and down the court, and he can cover some ground with them long legs, I imagine.
Oh yeah, he can. I mean, he can run pretty quick, and it doesn't look like he's put much effort into it because he's tall.
And then last one, the young man who really had just a coming out party in that second half, Lilly. Here's a touchdown run by Lilly.
And I was glad he got that, his first varsity touchdown rushing, and he'd already thrown it's kind of unusual for a freshman running back to throw a touchdown pass before he gets to rush one, a rushing TD. But, he's pretty versatile, and he works hard, real smart, intelligent kid, and, I look for great things for him.
I know all the guys, they want the W, but I can imagine a young freshman like Lilly had to have been pretty pumped about the night he had after the game.
Well, he was, but he's humble, dude. He just, he asked, he said something, "I'm just ready to come to work, Coach. We want to get, I think that with this freshman class, I think they understand that sometimes they're outmanned, but they're up to the challenge. I have more of a hard time trying to challenge my older kids in the face of adversity than I do these young kids. And I think that says a lot about them and, probably what they got from Coach Carter down at junior high. And then, of course, a lot of the kids they come from great families, and they want to work. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're building this program around, trying to win that day. You got to work. Sometimes you got to work more to win the day than other people have. And this team knows they have to work, and we're trying. We're trying. They're working hard.
Well, do you have some game stats or anything you want to go over? I know you've got a lot over there going on.
Well, we talked about Jalen Lilly rushing for almost 100 yards. He had 92 yards, and he threw for a touchdown, and he ran for a touchdown. Like I said, Jalen King, our quarterback, he was 6 for 13 for about 80 yards, and Zariah had 3 catches for 50 yards, and the stats weren't. I mean, they beat us in the stats column, but I tell them we got to fight for every yard we get, and have to fight to keep them from making the yards, and they fought well. They fought
I know
well.
you talk about fighting for everything and win the day. It starts in the weight room, and I know y'all have really emphasized weight training and conditioning in the coming
Yeah.
into your your
Yeah.
tenure here
Yeah,
as
well,
head coach.
that was one thing that we had to put emphasis on this summer, and the whole deal. You know, Coach Mack ran the weight room, and when he left, so did the leadership in the weight room. And when I got the job, they said what my plan was. Well, my plan was to let somebody else do it. I mean, it's still, I guess you'd say, my weight room or whatever. I could trump stuff if I want to, but I got a great guy, Coach Bobby Jones. He came over from Cook County, and he took over right at the end of the year last year and through the summer, and we really worked. I worked right with him, and I love what he does. He's got the kids excited about it, and we don't have kids trying to avoid the weight room. It's a whole different approach than what's been in the past. Sometimes it looks like it's like a circus in there, you would think, but it's an organized circus.
An organized
If you walked in, you're like, what are they doing? They got kids bouncing around, and we're blowing whistles, and they're not really running wide open because you can't, in with all that equipment, but they're hustling to their spots, and the break, they get water when they need, usually toting a water jug around with them or something, but it's hot in our weight room. And anyway, they do that well, and then every other day we run, and we do different kind of drills outside and kind of mix it up a little bit. We're in season now, so we're not killing them in the weight room, but today was the cycle where we get a little bit, put more weight on there, and they were kind of feeling, and that's what I was excited about today, because we challenged them squatting and stuff with about 85% of the max. Well, that ended up our routine, and so they were hurting a little bit. Sitting through that film, they started tightening up a little bit, and we went back out there and had a good practice. But I'm excited about what's going on in there. They're not avoiding the weight room. We've got probably about 90% of them bought in. It got to get that other 10. And once we get all of them bought in, good things.
That's where it all starts over there.
Yeah, it is. That's the key, and I'm excited about what Coach Jones has got going over there, and the other coaches too. This summer was great. They came and worked, and we'll just see how it goes. And all, after we got a plan for when the season's over. That's when you really you break those muscles down, you build them up, and I'm excited because you see the size of our team compared to other teams.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of small, but we're going to work on that.
You're going to be able to go back in a year from now and look at film and pictures.
Yeah, I hope we can see a lot of
And
changes
see a
with kids.
difference,
Yeah.
at the end of this year.
Well, you take a kid like our sophomore, Assad Akbar. If you look at him, how he looks this year compared to last year, I mean, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, and he bought into what Coach Mack was doing. He was one of them that bought in. Him and Ryan Keener, two sophomores, they really bought into it last year, and they worked out, and you can see the difference that they've made themselves into this year compared to last year. And I hope next year when their pitchers are in the program, they're like, oh, that's a whole different looking kid.
Yeah.
And, so I hope that
It'll
works.
start paying off when they're juniors, sophomore, juniors, and seniors
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
So we're excited about that. We're going to take a quick break, Coach, before we dive into we got a bye week this week, but ATCO next week.
Right.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Coach Murray Show on the Charlton Sports Network.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away. ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Welcome back to the Coach Murray Show. We've got the Atkinson County Rebels coming up in two weeks. Open week this week, Coach, but the Rebels coming into the game. We're going there, actually. They're not coming here. We're going there. But they're 1-2, and we're sitting at 1-2.
Yeah, Atkinson, for the last several years, they look good. You look at them, and they're pretty. As far as football players, they're some pretty football players. You'd like to have them dressed out in one of your uniforms. I think Coach McGowan he does a good job over there, and they really came into this season thinking that this is going to be a year for them to get into playoffs, and there's still great chance of that. Last year I think he had like 8 or 9 starters get knocked out in the first 3 games.
Wow, that hurts.
And he's got all those guys back, and he's got a phenomenal quarterback. He can throw it well, and what scares me is how he can run. And what they'll do on offense is they'll do kind of like we used to do, when we had Dwight and people like that, Dasher. We get in multiple sets, mainly out of the gun, and we pass to be able to run, if you know what I mean. And looks like if the DBs turn their back on the quarterback or linebackers turn their back on the quarterback, he'll take it up and go. I mean, he's had some great runs against bad. They lost to Berrien, and the score was like 60 something to the high 40s. It was looked like a track meet, but they're also capable of, getting down in an eye or whatever, something like that, under center if he wants to, and just knocking the crap out of you and knocking you off the ball. Got some pretty good size backs, some good offensive linemen, and I'm sure they'll picked up on how we cover the counter not very well, and they run some counter stuff at you, and that's where you fake one way and you go back the other.
Back the other way.
And teams have had Applin had a lot of success with that and Friday night, and that's something we're really concentrating on working on from here on out. But they're offensively, like I said, they're pretty solid. Their quarterback is just straight scary. You watch him on film. I've watched him too much already. The more I watch it, the scarier he looks. Yeah. And then on defense, they run. Of course, we've seen him on film on different things, but probably because we don't get in the wishbone or anything. They look like they had 12 guys on the line of scrimmage, but it looks like they kind of get in the 50, 3-4, make it into a 50, and they get after it. They got some good linebackers, some good linemen, some DBs. They're a good, a solid team. It's going to take an effort of 48 minutes for us to be able to win that game.
They had a very similar game. I know this past Friday they played Brantley and sort of had the same type of turnout we did with them. So it might be a battle over there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
matchups and so forth.
They're very capable of defeating us. They could have done it. They would have beat us the last several years. As we had some breaks go our way because like I said earlier, when you look at them, I mean, they'll have those red uniforms on. They look good, and we'll definitely have to go over there with ready to work. Because if we're not ready to work for everything, then they're certainly going to take it from us. So
we need to be prepared and don't take them lightly at all.
Yeah, we need everybody to try to go over to Pearson to help us out because we'll need all the help we can get.
We'll be in their house, so we need our road warriors to
that's
make that trip. And for all road warriors, that's not very far.
That's one of the
that's only an hour.
Yeah, that's one of the close ones. Them in Homerville, them in Clinch. I mean, there's a close. Well, other than Brantley, but as far as region goes, that's about as close as we can get.
Yeah. So we need our folks there, loud as always and traveling well. I had it. Let's see. Here we go. I know the theme for this year is win the day. So on the offensive side of the ball, just obviously, I guess the basic things, coach speak type stuff, is to limit the turnovers and be consistent, drive the ball down the field. Well,
we got to get better on first down. So if we're looking at what we've done so far these past 3 games, when we seem to get 4 yards or so first down, we end up having a good drive.
Yeah.
And obviously we start, we get second and 9 or second and 11, we've got some problems, but it's coming together. I mean, all this stuff is new to the kids, the blocking scheme, and the running backs have never had to run, into a hole per se, because we were running the zone reads where you just ran left, you had to find a hole, but now you've got to run in a hole, even if it doesn't look like there's a hole, or you think that's a hole, but that's not a hole because we're blocking somebody into it, So they've got to learn it, and they're getting better with it. And they're doing a good job on the film too, and we can monitor their huddle, how much they watch, and they actually are doing a better job this year. Well, I've noticed it more this year, watching it and studying it. And Coach Wittenberg and both of them actually, but Coach Zach, our offense coordinator, he's really put a lot of. You can make notes on them and things like that. And he's done that for them so they can actually see, what they're doing wrong, and, they can replay it and see, you can draw on it and make little comments. And so they're learning that way too. And that's what the film we showed them today had the comments on it. So it was a learning thing. We were working even when we were watching film,
On the defensive side of the ball at ATCO, on our defensive side of the ball with ATCO with the ball, what do we have to do to stop them on first down? What are their tendencies?
Well, the thing is, it
it
depends on what they're in. It depends on what they're in. We definitely have to be able to bottle that quarterback up. If they try to throw it, and we have per se getting ready for, if we got them covered, that quarterback will tuck it and go. Okay, and he'll go a long ways. He can goal post it from wherever if you let him do it, because he's done it. I know the two films I saw.
Almost have to stay.
Well, yeah, we might have to spy him with somebody if we can afford that. Just that's your guy. The quarterback's your man. But like I said, we got to be able to be able to secure the line of scrimmage too, because like I said, they can line up and knock you off the ball too. They got some pretty good sized linemen, and we have to be able to, what Coach Paul Wittenberg says, we got to change the line of scrimmage, move it back a yard after the ball snap. And there's a lot of things. We got to be prepared for a lot of stuff.
Just got to be ready to go and win the day every play.
Yeah, we got to work. It's definitely going to be a lot of work to win that day on the 20th. But it should be. It should be.
All right, Coach, let's move on to our senior spotlights, if you don't mind. We've got, I'll pull them up right here. Number 6, Marcel Maxwell, and number 8, Preston Lynch.
Okay.
And there's our senior spotlights. Maxwell's listed as a wingback defensive end. Lynch is a running back defensive lineman. They're both 5'11". Both very similar builds, both listed at 195 and 198.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Maxwell first. Maxwell, I thought had a great game defensively for us, and I think he called a pass too for about 20 yards, and he looked good running down the field. I think a DB upended him and he almost turned the flip, but it was a good run after the catch. But he played a great job. He did a great job on the defense, and I don't know exactly how many tackles he had, but I mean it was more than 6, I believe, and he caused that fumble that you were pointing out with Caleb getting, and he's really getting it. He kind of struggled a little early in the season with playing that what we call him as a dog, but he's an outside linebacker, and he which is defensive end basically. They're on the line. That's our dog.
I was going by what y'all had.
Right. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, but when our defense they can be either way. But anyway, he's got so much better. He wants to be good. He wants to be good. He works hard, and I mean his heart's in it. And he goes 100 miles an hour, and I'm excited for him getting better. And I was excited to, the Georgia Farm Bureau, they give game balls out to players of the week, and I presented him a game ball today, and he looked kind of surprised, and you could tell he was thankful for it, and I was excited for him about that.
Game ball this week?
Yeah, well, we just gave a game ball for this week against Appleton, because he had those turnovers or calls to turnover, and he had that catch, and it could have went to other players too, but he was voted for it and he got it, so we present him with the ball there. And he missed our spring game because he dislocated his elbow, and he worked real hard getting that thing back ready to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. He hasn't missed any. He started the scrimmage. He did a real good job rehabbing it and doing what he needed to do there, so I'm proud of him on that. And the other seniors is Preston Lynch, who's been with us. It seems like he's been playing ball for us because he was doing junior high too. And his mom, I graduated with his mom, so I got to give her a shout out, Tina.
There you go.
But I think Saquon, I had to do that with his mom too. But he's in a uniform. Gosh, 5'11", almost 200 pounds. And he can go now when he wants. He's a good pass rusher, and he had a real good game. He had a decent game against Frederica, and he's tough. He's tough when he comes off the ball. He's tough to block, and when he decides that he wants to do that every play, then he's going to cause a lot of trouble for people. And I hope he does that pretty soon. I hope he does pretty soon. I mean, you're right at 6 foot, 200 pounds, and if you come off like a bullet, I mean, that may not seem like much when you go against a 300-pounder, but 300-pounders can't move like him. He took 245 and power cleaned it the other day like it was 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he probably could have got another 15 pounds or so, about 260, but the rascal, his next one he tried was like 270. I'm like, why didn't you just go up just a little bit? And he didn't quite get it. He almost got it. But so he works hard in the weight room. So
good deal. Well, congratulations to those two on the senior spotlight, and congratulations specifically to Marcel on the Farm Bureau.
Yeah, Georgia Farm Bureau. He was Player of the Week this week. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know about that. So that's a good deal for Marcel and Preston Lynch. We're going to take a quick break, Coach, and then we'll come back. We'll get into B team, what the Braves have going on. Maidens have a huge game over here as well.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation has been providing quality electric service at a competitive price to residential, commercial, and industrial customers in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida since 1939. For tips and advice on how to save electricity and stretch your energy dollars, call 1-800-262-5131 and speak to your marketing representative. We are a cooperative owned by those we serve.
Hey Indian fans, did you know you're eligible to join the United First Federal Credit Union? We are your hometown financial institution offering services such as online banking, mobile deposit, free checking, and much more. And if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, our auto loan rates start as low as 2.99 for those who qualify. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. Federally insured by NCUA and equal housing lender.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Murray Show. Coach, we just did our senior spotlights. Now we're getting into what's going on in the this week coming up.
Well, our Braves, our junior high, is taking on Camden. They're going over to Camden to play, and I think it's just their second game because of the hurricanes and the cancellation they had with McIntosh, because McIntosh ended up joining the league. So it's only their second game. They hadn't had a game since they played University Christian down in Jacksonville a couple, 3 weeks ago. And, of course, obviously the hurricane messed them up last week. But
they're ready to get back at it then, I'm
yeah, they've been practicing. They practice hard because, they're right on, right near us. And they go over to Camden and play on Wednesday, I believe. Mm-hmm. And our JV, we'll have our second game. We go over and play Camden's JV on Thursday. So we'll do that, and like you said, there's a big softball game. No, it's over there.
Over there.
It's over in Camden, and then you said our softball teams they got a big game this Thursday against Lanier. I think Lanier's the only team that well, in the region that's beat them, they lost to them by 1 run. I don't know if it's 4-3 or 3-2.
Yeah, it was very close over in Lanier.
And, I think the way our tiebreaker goes, if we went out, if we were able to beat Lanier and we went out, if we beat them by more than 1 run, we could win the
region.
Yeah, but I don't know how that – I think that's how that unfolds. You had to talk to Coach Baxter about that. But it's a big game, and I'm excited about those girls. And I hope they're able to pull it out. And I'm excited about our young kids too, playing football. Wednesday, I know those guys coming. When we got off the field after them, they were hanging out. I like to see them hanging out. And they go over there Wednesday and play, and Coach Carter does a great job with them. And I'm hoping that they pull out a win. And I'm excited for our JV guys because they never get to play. They get to play some sparingly, you might say. And they're going to contribute, or they're going to have to contribute by the time they're through. Mm-hmm. So it's important for us to get time in to get them some playing time as well. Even if they're just a special team player, they're going to play somewhere, hopefully for us one day. I hope that's their goal. That's my goal for them because if it wasn't their goal, then why are they even here?
That's a fact.
But so I'm excited about them finally getting the chance to step on the field again, and we'll do that Thursday afternoon.
Especially with as young as your current varsity unit is. Those B team guys work hard and assert themselves and keep grinding. They could take a spot.
Yeah, well, that's right. They'll have to, because we're not starting all freshmen. We're going to have kids graduate the next 2 or 3 years, and these freshmen that are, and it's a pretty good class. I won't say, I've been here 25 years. I won't say it's the best class ever, but it's a good class. It's a pretty solid class. It would be the best if we had we got some good linemen in that group. Mm-hmm. But if we had a few more linemen, it would be the best because we got some pretty good skilled people. But it's going to be hard to argue it's best. We had that group that came through. They won it, the sophomores and as juniors and as seniors. So and all of them were starting as they were sophomores. So anyway.
Let me ask you, you talk about the linemen like you smile. You light up every time you talk about the offensive linemen. I know you've coached them forever. Have you made that? How's that adjustment going for you? Going from just being the line to now you're over the whole enchilada.
Well, it's different. I still leave tired from practicing, but it's a different kind of tired. The mental, I guess, tired now, but physically, I used to get down there with them, and I move side to side with them and stuff, and I do miss that. When you become a head coach, you kind of, coaching days aren't over, but they're not the same. Because you got to worry. I can't spend all my time down there with them. I got to go see what's going on everywhere else.
You got to go check out the quarterbacks.
I'm so lucky to have great assistants that they don't need me. I just kind of I'll get the food lined up for us after the game in Pearson. They do a great job, and I'm glad. I made that. When I got the job, I wanted the guys to stay here, and then we hired Coach Jones. So. That I guess that's one of the, that's a good thing I did.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it.
It makes it easier for you because that's a position you've always had was that offensive line coach, and you have a solid staff over there, so you don't have to stress what's going on.
Oh yeah, Coach Lloyd does a great job. Coach Jones helps him out. They kind of Coach Jones coaches the D line, so when we're doing offensive stuff, he helps Coach Lloyd. But Coach Brian Lloyd, he played on our 99 championship team. We're going to have that reunion for on homecoming. And he knows the Indian way, you might say, to expect to win mentality and how this program was built, and he through his teaching, I can see him teaching at those kids. And I'm proud that they're doing that. Tradition is still going on,
All right. Any final thought? I know you mentioned something while we were at Commercial by Quarterback Club.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll just announce it here. I'm sure it's a run, but I'll try to get some emails to find out from our quarterback president, Brian Hewlin, about I'll be here if folks want to come watch the film like we did. Cool. We had the hurricane kind of mess us up last week and weren't able to do that, but we can come over and we can sit there and, like we did last time, watch the film like the coaches do.
That.
Yeah, we can do that, and that'll be tomorrow. We get through at practice 6 o'clock or so it'll be about 6:30, 6:45.
I think one time I'd almost like to do it live with you over there doing that. That was I really enjoyed that first.
We'd have to tape the last. Oh, especially if we had to tape delay it if it was our opponents to get to see what we were trying to do.
Hey, we'll have to tape delay that.
I do want to make one more announcement. I hope that everybody keeps Buddy Nobles, the head coach from Irwin, in their prayers. You know, he got diagnosed with stomach cancer, and he's got some spots on his liver, and, you know, he had an episode this weekend, and I think he's in the hospital at Emory. And, you know, I mean, Irwin, we don't like him on the football field, but, you know, Buddy's a good man. And
what, Mr. Coach Nobles?
Yeah, Coach Nobles. And if you would, and your churches and stuff, put him on your prayer list. And I
know he's battling right now.
Yeah, I believe he's in the hospital at Emory right now. And you know, and he's got a great ball club this year, and he has this in his way, and he's not able to spend the time with him. I know he wants to, and you know, he's a great man, and I hope he can get through this. So if y'all just keep him in your prayers,
him and his family.
Yep.
So we're thinking about him, and hopefully he can get a quick recovery and get back on the sidelines.
You know, like I said, he's an Irwin Indian, but you know, when it all boils down, we're all human beings too. So. You know, and then this coach, you know, he does the same thing. He's been doing it longer than I have, but, you know, he does the same thing I do. He's worked his tail off and been there for kids, not just his kids, but everybody else's kids, and, you know, everywhere he's went. And, you know, and I just hope the Lord can see him through it, you know, and we're thinking about him.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that, Coach.
Okay.
I want to thank you for spending time with us again
Yes,
this
sir.
evening. And we'll see if you let me know if you decide to have the quarterback that.
Well, I'm going to be here tomorrow. So anybody hears this, if they want to come, then, you know, because, you know, we get through at 6. I'm gonna be around. So I'll show it to anybody that shows up 1 or
all right,
2. We'll do it.
We'll see you tomorrow night,
Okay.
then, Coach.
All right.
You'll have a great evening, everybody, and thank you for watching the Coach Murray Show.
There's a reason why we're South Georgia's automotive superstore.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevy,
Nissan on the east side.
Walker Jones Used Car Mega Center.
GMC.
coming soon, the all-new Walker Jones Honda.
Toyota.
We've got it all, so why shop anywhere else?
Charlton Electric, now serving Charlton and surrounding counties. With over 20 years experience in both commercial and residential services, our electricians can meet your needs. We offer installation on whole house generators, service upgrades, mobile home services, troubleshooting, ceiling fan and light fixture installations, and much more. Call us today for an estimate at 912-276-7664.
Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. Foreign car parts, big truck operators, they have you covered as well, with belts, seals, hoses, rental of supplies, and so much more. They even have mower parts. Please stop by today and see the whole crew. Dave, Stephen, Miss Joe, Miss Pam, Little Sammy, and Big Sammy at Folkestone Auto Supply.
Whistle and Dixie Custom Framing and Unique Gifts and Cafe is located at 3742 Main Street in downtown Folkestone, Georgia. Lunches are served on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come join the fun food and fellowship whether you're a local, tourist, or a Royal fan. We also serve Bluebell ice cream, coffees, and lattes. While dining, feel free to browse around as we also have custom framing, train art, custom t-shirts, and unique gifts. Looking for a real lodging? You can also stay at the Chessie Caboose or the Peaks Cabin. Come see us.
Thrift Farm and Feed, located at 43 Depot Street in Folkestone, is owned and operated by Tim Birchall. Tim invites you to come by and check out his selection of Georgia boots, cactus ropes, and Rocky boots. They also have a full selection of livestock feeds, Showtime dog foods, and hardware. The Birchall family is proud of number 4, Scott Birchall, and wish the Indians good luck this season.
El Cheapo Folkestone, located on US 1 South across from Dairy Queen. They have the lowest gas prices in town along with discount beverages and a huge selection of lottery tickets. They're a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network, and they wish the Maidens and Indians the best of luck in the playoffs. Stop in, fill up, and tell them CSN sent you.